so not organised for this live stream. We intended to have this live stream done on the PC. It has been a crazy wild week. They're on. Let's see if it's that one. If it's not that one,
too small. It's the same like.
That's the biggest one I've got.
Don't you have the yellow one?
I don't know where that is now.
Oh.
Just screw it with your hand for now. Just screw it with your hand for now. Just screw it hand tight, and yeah. So yeah, we intended to have lots of things organised and ready for this live stream. Unfortunately, we didn't, because it's been one of the most craziest weeks of my entire life. Which, yeah. So, but we're here for the next 60 minutes to answer any questions you've got, to talk about some of the new quads we've got. We've got a broken tripod. What I wanted to do is I wanted to start building the 3-inch Colibri.
Do you have like any
Nope.
spare lot that's this size?
No.
I mean, you're not having one of those things.
No, we can't be met. Look, move that chair forward. Remember what I've just said about all this stuff
I
here?
didn't move it back.
It's been knocked. So we've got to be so careful because there's that much stuff there. Right, no, sit down. There's no room to move in. There's no room to move in here. It's a bloody mess in here. Right, so people, when you arrive, I'm just going to pop you there and I'll be with you in a second. I'm just trying to fix a tripod.
I don't know where the lot's gone.
Right, don't worry about it. What I can do is I can balance it on here.
It won't work, it'll just slide out.
Well, except it will work, because I'm going to do it in a way that'll make it work. So you say it won't.
I'm going to keep looking for that bolt.
Never mind.
I told you it won't.
Well, what I can do is I can do it like this, look.
Okay.
Put it like that.
I'll have this.
Right, I need you to sit down. Listen, I need you to sit down, because if any of that gets knocked behind you, my darling.
It'll break.
Yep. Thank you. Right. Okay, well, we've not got anybody in on the live stream yet anyway, so...
Well, I am.
Obviously you are, but that's good.
It took a while for me to get on.
Did it?
Yeah, because you got that lot.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a look at... We'll just talk to ourselves for now, because, yeah. So, we've been flying the Quadmula today, and I'm curious at what it weighs. So, it's 175 grams.
So that's more than...
Without a lipo. No, and what does... Okay. So this is strange. So, somebody wants to explain to me how this works. Just stop.
Sorry.
It's okay. There's just no room to move in here. With that helicopter and everything, there's just no room to move. No.
I wasn't even moving.
Okay. So, if somebody wanted to explain to me why the sub 250 Oasis Fly 25 gets more flight time than the Quadmula Gin, but that weighs, so that's 176. This weighs 5 grams more. So why would the sub 250 be getting more flight time? We do have one extra 100 kV on the motors, but the motor sizes are the same. It makes absolutely no sense to me. So if somebody wants to explain to me why we're getting more flight time on the sub 250, then I would be willing to listen. Now, with the Colibri, we did a poll on what you want us to build, whether it be walk snail, whether it be HD0, whether it be, we'll do it afterwards, mate. We can't do it now. I keep saying this to you. Whether it be DJI Pro, yeah, I can't think now because you're going on at me. DJI Pro is okay, or DJI Lite. And you guys voted you want the Colibri to be built DJI Lite. So, I wonder in the chat there says hello. So, we should have the Colibri in here now. Just need to make sure. So we got them from CNC Drones. For anybody who wants parts, CNC Drones carry so many parts of so many different manufacturers. Interestingly, they don't seem to carry screws for their frames, which is they literally just provide you with the frames. But if you need a part, so I needed a part for my 7-inch AOS frame. And whilst I was there, we grabbed the Colibri as well. Now, I'm just opening it up behind the camera just while we get a few people in. It's a very quiet live stream tonight. We are only live for 60 minutes, and once we are gone, we are gone. So just bear that in mind, people. But we are looking at, this is a super, super small, tiny armed 3-inch quad. And I think we're going to end up flying it with, and obviously we've got the side plates there, and I think we'll probably end up flying it, and then we've got some of the other parts there, and then we've got the AOS camera plate, which is the bit I needed, and we'll probably end up flying it by the looks on something like a 1202, which I've actually got a 4S 1202. Now I can't get to it at the minute because, as some of you may have already heard, we do have a very large scale helicopter in the studio tonight. Now I can't actually get to it because we've got loads of boxes in the studio as well. So it's a little bit of a difficult one. It's a bit of a tricky one. For anybody that doesn't know, by the way, Only Drones and I have discovered the world's best Red Bull. This is like the OG Red Bull, and it's not fizzy. I don't know if it's got sugar in it because I can't read it. But there's your ingredients. So yep, it is incredible. It is the best energy drink I have ever had in my entire life. Absolutely stunning stuff. I don't know what's in it. Quite frankly, I don't care because one, it tastes so nice, and two, it really is really good. Super nice, super nice. So I have been having some thoughts today about what the best 2.5-inch FPV drone is. Only Drones in the house. Only Drones, good evening, sir. Yeah, I've been having some thoughts and feelings about what I think the best 2.5-inch drone is. Only Drones, you'll see this in some upcoming videos, but that's how we open boxes now. And I've actually made a bit of a sketch to deal with that comment. So what do I think is the best 2.5-inch FPV drone? It is a toss-up. So we've just discovered, because we've just weighed the Quadmula, and the Quadmula is lighter. I think it's longer looking at it. The Quadmula doesn't get anywhere near the battery life of the sub 250 Oasis Fly 25, and it feels heavier, but it's actually lighter. So I don't really get it. But at the same time, the Quadmula flies like nothing else. It's ridiculous. It's just so good. But after one day of flying the Quadmula, I'm all in naming the sub 250 Oasis Fly 25 as the best 2.5-inch. Now that's wild because I've had 3 different drones of the same size. They've all flown really well. I don't know if you can actually see that from there. They've all flown really well. But the Oasis Fly 25 just beats them all. It beats them for efficiency. It beats them for maneuverability. I mean, we are talking sort of really fine lines of differences. We are talking marginal gains. You know, we're not talking if you're going to get one, don't get the other because it's massively better. We are talking very similar. But the Oasis Fly 25 is still, in my opinion, the king. The Avion RC is better for the more intermediate / expert pilot because it's that bit lighter, but your camera's less protected. So we go back to the Oasis Fly 25 because we can do more risky things with it without panicking. We tested it in the week with the 3S and we got over 3 minutes flight time flying with the 3S. I don't think it can be beat. And Only Drones, you need to buy one because it's that good. I just cannot in my head see a world where a drone comes out and beats that Oasis Fly 25 overall. Like I say, sure, we can look at and we can consider the Avion RC, which is an amazing drone. But it's just less protected. Yes, it's lighter. Yes, it flies harder. Okay, mate. But it's a really different one. Kronk RC, welcome. So as much as I love the Quadmula DJI and the Jin, I think it's pronounced from what I understand now, because it just gets that little bit less flight time. Ultimately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 6S motors on this, and we're just going to have to bite the bullet that it's going to be about 350 grams instead of 250 grams, and we're just going to have to fly it in such a way. But it is an amazing drone. But the Oasis Fly 25 is just unbelievable. Only Drone says, let me get some flying in first and use the Pavo 20 Pro a little bit. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this is going to be quite entertaining and interesting. So I don't know if you was here at the start, but we've got this from CNC Drones. This is a 3-inch super lightweight drone that's probably going to use 1202 motors, so even smaller than these 2.5 inches, but it's a 3-inch. But it's probably going to come out. So I ran a community poll and said, what do you want me to build it with? The 04, the 03, the 04 Lite, the Walk Snail, or the HD0? And the 04 Lite has won. So that's what I'm going to build it with. So it's probably going to come out at about 100 grams for a 3S, for a 3-inch, which is just madness. Now, obviously, you can see just how thin those arms are. If my phone will refocus. There we go. Super thin. We've only got 2 holes for screws. But I do think it's going to be quite a monster. Don't think it's going to crash very well, but I do think it's going to be a monster. And speaking of monster, don't drink Monster, drink Red Bull instead. So yeah, what we need to do, Only Drones, is obviously get you flying a little bit more, because it has been a while since you've flown. We have got a new video out this evening. I am just in the middle of designing a thumbnail for it, so that should be out pretty shortly, within the next few hours. I am waiting for a code from the manufacturers to give you guys 10% off, even though these motors are only $67 for 5, and the 7-inch motors, which is just ridiculous. You can't buy 7-inch motors for that. It's just crazy. On the gold label, I see Harry M Photography. Welcome. Good evening, or good afternoon, indeed, to your good self. How are you doing today? So yeah, I've racked my brain today. Quadmula, right. While we wait for any community questions to come in, Quadmula are, I think, some of the best well-engineered frames out there. This is incredible. I wonder is this how you get cancelled in FPV? Are you ready for this startup tune? I have put an LED underneath it as well for when you're chasing me, Only Drones. But are you ready? I wonder if I get cancelled for that. So we've just got a nice little strip there, because obviously, generally speaking, you're just going to see it like that, are you? So it's a really great drone, really great. Flies super well. Really nice on the faster rates. The 04 obviously looks gorgeous. It's just a bit more of a challenge to build. It's well engineered. It will absolutely take a crash. The only problem is, as always, look, we have got a massive overhang with the 04 camera. Even though we've got a really well engineered frame, we've still got an overhang with that 04 camera. That is a problem, because the rest of the frame can be as well engineered as it wants, but you crash that 04 camera and you've got no protection on it at all. But I like it. I like how they're built. I like how well engineered they are. I did have to lengthen some of my wires, so it is a little bit of a ghetto build. I've turned the flight controller upside down and backwards so that we've got the power cord at the front. and we haven't got any wires running over the gyro, so it's lovely and clean. And it's a really, really nice build, actually. And I've also got the 5-inch version of this, which I'm doing a build series for you guys. So, yeah, I like Quadmula, and I'll probably get more of their frames. But at the same time, I'm just a little bit disappointed that the flight time on it is as poor as it is, sadly. But it is what it is. Let's have a look. Will the Pavo keep up? If I fly as slowly as you fly, yes. Harry in Photography Fly says, sounds great. Only Drone says, no way, that is built around the 04. Yup. Harry in Photography says, what frame is that? So this is the Quadmula DJINN. So I think they call it the Gin. F25. So it's a 2.5-inch. And I did promise to have all my cameras and everything set up for tonight, and I haven't. I've had such a busy week. I mean, I'm sorry. So it's a 2.5-inch. So we're using the same motors as we used for the Avion RC. And what I was saying is, there's some videos going to go up later, and it rips really, really well. Really well. But at the same time, I was struggling to get over 3 minutes. Now, when I stuck on this battery, which is an 850 mAh, what did we go to? Let's have a look at the weight. The weight took us to 270 grams. So it took us over the 249 grams, but I got 3 minutes and 40 seconds hard ripping out of it. So with a bigger battery, amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I mean, I was even hanging on a little bit there. There was a couple of times where I sort of just eased off for 10 or 15 seconds to let the battery recover a little bit. So as great as it was still sort of hanging on. And now we've gone over that 250 mark. So what I was saying at the start of the video is, it's a brilliant frame. It's well engineered. You've got no protection on that camera at all. It's specifically built for the 04 Pro, but yet the camera's sticking out by a mile. And you are having to go over 250 grams to comfortably get over 3 minutes flight time. Whereas the Sub 250 Oasis Fly 25, I flew on this 3S pack, this one, a 550 mAh 3S. And got over 3 minutes on a 3S pack. Now, this weighs, the Quadmula weighs 5 grams less than the Sub 250, so I don't know what on earth is going on. But I spoke to a few people today, and they're getting the same sort of flight time, so it's not my build or anything. But just for comparison, the Sub 250 Oasis Fly 25 with the 3S pack weighs 222 grams. And I'm getting over 3 minutes. To get over 3 minutes with this, I need to get up to 270 grams. You okay, Boy Wonder?
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back. You okay? What are you doing?
Just looking for something.
All right.
I managed to find it though.
Oh, that's good.
With my iPad pen.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great frame. It's well engineered. I think I'm going to absolutely love the 5-inch version. That's a prop, not mate. Can't use that.
I didn't even realise.
That's for a prop. I have half built, and I will talk about this actually. So I've half built the 5-inch version from Quadmula. Now, there's lots and lots and lots to like about this. So it's obviously called the split, which means you've got a split level. Now, you do need a little bit more experience when building a split, because it's like a slam deck. You get a lot less space up top to use. As you can see, each arm is independently replaceable, because we've got this.
Unscrew it.
Do you know what?
I mean, just take it.
What an idiot am I? I've just realised this here
I just realised.
should be on the underside in between the arms. So that, oh, what an idiot. I wasn't very well. Right, okay. Oh my freaking hell. Right, I don't know why on earth. That can't be right. Yeah, that must be the other. Although, yeah, that has to be the other way around. Anyway, right, so the arms are independently replaceable. You've got 7,075 aluminium on the standoffs. They do this vibration isolation rubberized cover for the standoff stacks that you just add on, cut it, and away you go. And it's as well engineered and as nice as the 2.5-inch version, but obviously we're not going to be constrained to having to worry about what we keep the weight to, because we fly in 5-inch, so we know that we're going over, so we'll build it to the best. And I'll stick something like the F60 motors on from T-Motor, and we'll go with the best of the best. I think Quadmula are probably my favourite frames now. I used to always go with budget frames because only drones can verify this. I used to always say, frame's a frame. If you're going to smash it up, you're going to smash it up. But I do like how well engineered these are. I really, really do. This is really nice and really good. I might not have built it properly, but it's still really nice and really, really good. So we'll deal with that. We'll get that corrected over the next couple of days, and we'll get that first video out. So we'll have the first video of how to build it. Then we'll have the second video of installing your motors and your ESC and then soldering your motors in. And then episode 3 will be installing your flight controller and then soldering all your peripherals in. And then the last one will be, well, not the last one, sorry. Then we'll have how to place all the peripherals in the right place. Then we'll have beta flight setups, and then we'll have tests. And yeah. So if you want to follow along, grab one of these or grab anything. But obviously, the video for the frame building will be based around this, but everything else is applicable to anything else anyway. Just don't follow my idiotic move of why on earth have I done that? That is so bad. Never listen to a word I say ever again.
Yeah, never.
Never.
Don't crash drones. Okay.
So yeah, I did also try this week to build a sub 250 5-inch, and I was getting it in at about 280 grams, so I gave up. So we're not quite there with sub 250 5-inches yet. I also tried it with the Flyfish RC Tony frame as well, and that was coming in about 300 grams. So we're just not quite there at being able to get it under 250 grams for a 5-inch yet, but we're getting closer with the 04 Lite. I've had to take this drone apart and put the Dolphin RC motors on this because we had to put them on a different drone to test them, but we will have that video out later. These are really nice and really cheap motors. Had to put them back on there. And really, we're just led by you guys now. So we're here for another 35 minutes. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about in the FPV space. But I genuinely do believe...
It's only in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I genuinely do believe...
I'm just going to sit in there and I'll pause a little bit and then come back in.
All right, mate. I genuinely do believe that the Oasis Sub 250 Oasis 525 is the best 2.5-inch out there. For overall everything. The Quadmula probably flies better, but you've got less flight time. It's a bit harder to build. The Quadmula's got a lot more protection on the camera. There's never one perfect thing that ticks every single box. There's always going to be different compromises that you have to make. And we've got some really, really incredible sub 250 gram drones now, whereas in the past we never did. So it's good. It's good. We're moving forward. We're innovating. We're not necessarily where we want to be with regards to some of the bigger stuff, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and innovation is driving that, and it's really good to be part of it, and to be helping you guys out as well. But I think ultimately with the Quadmula one, I think ultimately we're just going to put it as a 6S and just slam it. If I'm completely honest, but I do worry. I don't want to not use this, but I do worry just how exposed that camera is. As beautiful as it is, let's wait for there we go. look, I mean, look how exposed it is. And yet this is a frame built specifically for, where are you? Come on. The 04. I think ultimately it's probably not. What they've probably done is they've got their other frame and they've just changed the camera mount. And but it's good. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I really do like it. And we've got some innovative ways of mounting your antennas. So these just pull out, and then you slide your wire in there, and then you push it back in, and then away you go. So it's really, really good. And I don't want to speak bad of it, but it just doesn't seem to be there with the... And I don't know why. That's the thing. Because it's not heavier than the sub 250. We're running the same KV, albeit 100 different, but 100 is not going to make any difference. So why are we getting such a big difference when it comes to flight times? I just don't quite understand it. And as mentioned before, we've decided, based upon the community poll we've done, we will build this super lightweight 3-inch with the DJI 04 Lite. We got the frame from CNC Drones. Unfortunately, see, I completely forgot because I was going to build it on stream. Unfortunately, CNC Drones don't actually provide screws, and I haven't got any on me. And my studio is filled up with a helicopter and massive boxes from which the helicopter came, so I can barely even move in here at the minute. But yeah, drop any community questions you've got down below. I'm not really up to much on this stream, so I'm just here really to answer your questions. If it doesn't get much busy, I'll probably end up quitting after half an hour and we'll try again another day. You know, it's like I say, I can sit here and talk to myself all night long, but ultimately you guys are the ones that make this stream possible. Without you guys, I'm just a random bloke sat here chatting away to myself, and nobody wants to hear that. So you know, do get involved in the conversation down below so that we can continue the stream for the full hour. I'm guessing everybody's maybe everyone's gone to the pub this Saturday night. Can we? Yeah, that's as much as we can do that. You can see that the video playing is this, and you can see just how capable it is. It really is an incredibly capable machine, but it's not doing anything I can't do with the Oasis Fly 25, but for longer. Good fun though, really good fun. And I can see myself one day just sat there for a long time just flying it. Once it's a little bit warmer, of course, because at the minute it's a little bit too cold, as I'm sure you can all probably agree and understand. But it's, yeah, Quadmula have definitely impressed me. There was a time when it was sort of Quadmula versus Flyfish, and sort of a lot of the American FPV crew were really for Quadmula, and a lot of the European crew were more for Flyfish. And it became a little bit of a tribal thing. It was a bit weird at one point. And to be fair, I was very much in the Flyfish camp, but not from a tribal point of view, just from the point of view of that was what I was flying at the time and trying at the time. I think it was probably based upon cost. I think that the cost of the Flyfish was a lot less because of, I think it was postage at the time. But ultimately, I mean, every single week I've been streaming, people have been mentioning Quadmula, so I thought, well, okay, we'll just give it a try. Why not? And I'm really glad that people have, because I'm really, really impressed with it. Just flies so well. So well. So yeah, that's where we're up to. I've got lots more shorts like this to drop over the coming hours and potentially days. Hopefully, if the weather's a bit clearer tomorrow. I mean, it was lovely today. It was a bit cold for anything more than really one pack. So hopefully, if the weather's a little bit better tomorrow, we can get out for a few packs. Boy Wonder wants to have a fly of it, so we'll let him have a fly of it. He's very good at flying. Be interesting to see if you can tell the nuance differences between that and the sub 250 as well. We've also got the review of the iFly FX4 6S coming in the coming week as well. So I think I've pretty much filmed as much as I need to and flown it as much as I need to fly it to make a judgment as to what I think and feel about it. Spoiler alert, I think it's bloody brilliant, but I don't think it's for anybody other than the more experienced pilots. I'm sure a novice could fly it if you was to dial the rates down and flatten the camera angle. But one blip of that throttle in the wrong way and you're in the moon, because it really is just wild. And again, I never thought a 4-inch would fly like that. I certainly didn't think it would act like that. And I'm in discussions with iFly for potentially getting hold of a Nazgul Evoke, just because it's so. This is the Oasis Fly 25 flying on a 3S. The thing is with the iFlight quads, they're always so popular on the videos. So even though it's relatively old, certainly if they do an 04 version, I think we'll bring that to the channel, just because it'll bring new eyes to the channel, because everybody wants an iFly, don't they? It is, as I've mentioned before, I think it's like the Apple almost of the FPV world. It's the one that everybody wants, even though it's more expensive than the cheaper counterparts. It sometimes can be better spec than it. It's just the way it is. But yeah, it looks teeny tiny, does that battery on top of that Oasis Fly. Like I said, 222 grams. Absolutely crazy that it flew as long and as well as it did with such a small lipo or lipo or whatever. Then we put up an old video here of the Oddity RC XI20 smashing into a goalpost. Did relatively well. And then Only Drones and I visited a new client last week, and whilst we was there, I did a little bit of an external shot for them before we do all the internals. And then just as we was leaving, I said to Only Drones, is it clear, because I want to do a power loop? And he said yes, and here's the result. Nice little power loop in the parking lot, because why not? I mean, it's not a difficult one to pull off, to be fair, but you've got cars and you've got buildings. You get it wrong and it's going to cost you a lot of money. Again, just an Oasis Fly 25 tune there. YMZ Lightning 2, I think that's a really good drone, especially if you was to upgrade it to digital. I think that's probably one of the best toothpicks I've ever, well, no, that is the best toothpick I've ever flown. Ever. It's that good. And I think if you upgrade it to digital, it's just a different animal, isn't it? So I'd recommend watching that. Again, just some more sub 250. As you can see, I've got, I don't know, maybe 30 drones in here. 3 helicopters, 4 aeroplanes, 5 aeroplanes. The thing I fly the most is the sub 250 Oasis Fly 25 when it comes to fun. It's just such a great machine. A bit more of the iFlight FX4. This is definitely one that I'm going to fly more often. I think it's a nice alternative to a 5-inch. Let me just check on here that I haven't. I think, have I? Oh, I'm really sorry. I've completely missed everybody's messages. I'm sat here talking to myself. Sorry, Connor. Connor Clark is in the chat. I do apologise. I was wondering what on earth was happening, why I wasn't seeing any new messages. I'd had it selected to the other thing. So, right, where are we? Sorry, I do apologise. Caroline Tyler, happy weekend all. Harry M Photography, how's the ITZY build coming along? So I've had to borrow the 04 from the ITZY. I had it all up and running the other day, but then this came, so I borrowed it. This will then be, I'll be getting another 04 shortly. Connor Clark says, sorry I'm late. How are you? Connor, it's great to have you here, mate. Really sorry for not seeing anybody's messages before. DJ Drone Guy says, hi, sorry I'm late, but how are you? Very well, how are you? Only Drone says, I was looking at Evokes when starting. Yeah, honestly, the iFlights, like I say, it's probably a lazy way of looking at it. But they are, in my opinion, they are literally the sort of, the Apple of FPV. It's the one that everybody looks at when they first come into, because everybody knows iFly and it's easier. It's easier to look at. Harry says, you're getting 2, I've not even got 1 yet. Well, I do need 1 in the ITZY Evo permanently, because obviously that's going to be for sort of professional filming and stuff. And then I need another one to then switch between new drones that I get. So obviously I'm going to keep this in here for now, and then as I move forward, if I was able to get, say, I don't know if iFly have done an Evoke 04 yet, but if they have, try and pick one of those up, and then we'll move this into that, and you know, away you go. But I need one in that ITZY Evo permanently, because that has to be ready, willing and able whenever I need to go out there and get anything. But yeah, only I could sit here talking to myself saying, right, I'm going to go because there's nobody here, and when you're all leaving comments, so I do apologise profusely. Caroline, have you had many entries into your competition yet? I know Boy Wonder has entered. Hopefully he's got the answers right. He's very excited. He's just thrilled to be a part of it, to be fair. So he's loving it. He was here with me a minute ago, but he's just vanished into the other room for now. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. I can hear him talking away. But yeah, so have you had many entries into that competition yet? But yeah, the Quadmula F25 SP DGINN is a great frame. I highly recommend Quadmula frames. Genuinely highly recommend them. They're a little bit more difficult to work on than a standard frame. Like, for instance, most frames will have sort of something like this for your camera, some sort of solid base to work with. With gummies, this has just a TPU mount, and then what you do, see if I can actually get it to focus. So what you do with then this TPU mount, you can see here, you've got 2 things around here. You've then got to sort of pull them out and then push them over the standoff. And you've got to line it up underneath. And it's just a little, and then like I say, you've got this extra part on here, and then it levels it out. Your battery only really covers this bit, and then you've got all this bit at the back spare. It almost feels like it should have been a 3-inch frame, but for whatever reason, it's a 2.5-inch. Boy Wonder says, hi, I'm on my iPad. Hello, iPad Boy Wonder. I'm just, like I said, the only downside with this frame, in my opinion, is the fact that look how much that 04 sticks out on a frame that is supposedly designed specifically for. See, I can touch the camera there. So if my hand touches the camera lock there, in a crash, that camera isn't protected. So again, we go back to the point of, well, the sub 250 flies for longer and is completely protected. So if you look at that, you can see if that impacts. I don't get it, Only Drones. I don't get it. Like the Quadmula are rated and regarded as some of the best frame designs out there, and I get it. I absolutely get it after building 2 of them. So why? I think what they've done, if I'm completely honest, is they've raced to get out of frame to say, right, we've got a frame here that's 04 compliant. And what they've actually done is they've used the original 25, 2.5 inch and just changed the camera mounting system. So they've just changed it to that, and not actually changed. I mean, look how much that's sticking out past there. That is absolutely wild. But it's a shame because it does fly so well. And I will definitely switch out these motors to 6S because it does need a little bit of extra power. And again, I don't know why. Maybe, is it a longer wheelbase? It feels like a longer wheelbase. How long are you streaming for? Until 20 minutes. Yeah, it is quite a bit longer, is that wheelbase, isn't it? But it's just dead space because you're not putting a battery on that's that long on a 2.5 inch. So maybe it should have been a 3 inch, which was my initial impressions when I was building it. I was thinking, surely this is a 3 inch. But yeah, another 20 minutes. Boy Wonder says I don't know what Boy Wonder is actually doing. But hopefully, if the weather's okay tomorrow, Boy Wonder's going to fly this. And I'll put a little shorts up afterwards. Oh, he's coming back. Welcome back in a minute to Boy Wonder. We'll all give him a round of applause when he arrives, chat. So get ready with your round of applause for when Boy Wonder returns. Come on, chat. Give Boy Wonder a round of applause. He's returned.
But it took a while.
No reason they did not redesign a suitable front end. It's literally like an hour's work. I don't understand it, GMX. Like I say, they've specifically said this is a redesigned specific. Only Drones has given Boy Wonder a clap. I think, like I say, it feels to me like they've just redesigned the TPU print and said, right, we've got an 04 compliant frame. There you go. But it sticks out way too much. If you crash in a bando, that camera's not surviving. Not a chance is that camera surviving. No way in hell. Are there any Harry M Photography? Are there any frames that will fit the DJI Osmo or the Insta360 Go series? Yeah. The DJI Osmo Pocket camera, you mean? And which Insta360? Basically, right, Harry. Let me.
What do you need?
Don't worry, Boy Wonder.
Okay.
Let me show you. So what we generally do. Watch your head, mate. What we generally do in FPV is Connor Clark, clap for Boy Wonder. What we generally do is you'll find the easiest way to get a wide compatibility on frames is you'll have something like this. And as you can see, it's got, this is 3D printed and this is 3D printed. And all these you can get in different shapes, different sizes. And they'll just screw in to the TPU base, and you can get, so this is a GoPro Mini 11. You can get it for an Instago 360 Pocket or a Peanut or whatever, or a 360 degree camera. You can get it. You can get these 3D prints for anything. If you haven't got a 3D printer yourself, you can go on eBay. There's people that will do it for you, or Etsy, or you can go on FPV groups. People do it on FPV groups for you. But yeah, basically what you want is something like this. But if you're getting an 04 or even an 03, I've got to be honest, there's not really much point in getting like an Insta360 Go or anything. So just their action cameras. If you're getting an 04, there's not much point. There really isn't. We'll have a review of this coming out soon as well. This has surprised me. This has surprised me for many different ways. I'm not going to spoil the review, but it has surprised me. So yeah, but basically, Harry, this is what you want. So if you're thinking about like getting a bigger drone, you get one of these sort of TPU bases, and then you print off whatever you want camera-wise. If you can't do it yourself, eBay, Etsy, FPV groups, people are more than willing to help. If you was in the UK, I'd help, but obviously you're not, so I can't. Just thinking, if I get an 03 or 04 Lite, I can shoot. The problem is, if you're talking about the ITZY, you can't really add an action camera to it. I mean, you can, but the whole point of the ITZY is the lightweight and the maneuverability. If you're sticking an action camera on the front of something so small, don't forget the ITZY's only running 1.6 inch props, so those props are really small. Yeah. Realistically, just stick an 04 Pro in it and be done with it. If I'm honest. Connor Clark says that looks amazing. I've got to be honest, Connor. There's reasons why I can't say too much, but you're going to love the review, I promise you. You're going to absolutely love it. Harry M Photography says not at all. Definitely would get a bigger frame. Yeah, if it's for a bigger frame, then yeah, get one of those base TPU plates and then just print off whatever you need, and you can get them. So there's websites called Thingiverse, Cults 3D, Printables. DJ Drone Guy has just given Boy Wonder a massive clap. Slightly delayed. Are we in a different time zone in Latvia? Well, we are.
Mine's,
in a different time
mine's
zone.
bigly delayed.
Yours is bigly delayed. But thank you, DJI Drone Guys. So yeah, Harry, you would be looking. What was I saying? I completely forgot what I was saying. No, it's not showing up on yours, is it? It will do. Yeah, so the option is there, basically.
That's my last comment.
Yeah.
That comment's not showing
Ultimately, I know, mate, I can see. Ultimately, though, Harry, the 03, if you look at some of my videos, the 03
There
can
we
be
go.
made to look as good as a GoPro. If I don't know if you can see my screen here.
Set to top messages instead of all messages.
Yeah, it happened to me as well.
Yeah,
if
just
you
automatically sets
if you
it to
check
that
out
level.
this is the 03. And I don't really know if you can see, but look at the definition on the branches there. I don't know how well you can see that, but certainly go and check out that video if you can't. You can make the 03 look as good as a GoPro in good lighting conditions. So you're in the United States of America, depending which state you're in. If you're in a state that's a sunshine state, you probably don't need a GoPro. Genuinely, and I genuinely mean that. GMX says, I would imagine the smaller quads could lift the Instago 3. Yeah. The thumb size one, yeah, no, absolutely, you're right. They could, but what I'm saying is the thumb size cameras, there is a new one, isn't there, that's 4K, but the majority of them are 1440p. The 04 shoots better. The 03 shoots better. I haven't seen the newest 4K one as to say whether or not the 03 shoots better than it, but I'm almost willing to guarantee the 04 will shoot better than it, purely because it has a much bigger sensor size. Now, if you're flying something that's got, say, HD0 or analog on it, then yeah, no, absolutely, stick a thumb size camera on it, not a problem. But if you obviously, you're getting an ITZY Evo, it's going to be 3S, stick an 04 in that, and then, like I say, if you're in a sunshine state, you can make the 03 look just as good as a GoPro. It takes a little bit of working, takes a little bit of, but it's not difficult after you got used to it. It's not that difficult to do. The problem is I live in the UK, and we probably get about 4 days sunshine a year. So, I can make the 03 look really, really good on days that we get sunshine. The problem is we don't get sunshine very often. And that's the frustrating thing about it. Harry M Photographer says, my printer just broke last week. Have to fix it with a new extruder. What is it? Is it an Ender 3 by any chance? I'm going to guess it's an Ender 3 if he says he needs a new extruder. I'd recommend the E3D Hemera hot end. I upgraded mine to that when I had those Ender printers, and it was amazing. The difference was absolutely insurmountable. What are you looking at, Boy Wonder? Nice. So Boy Wonder's just shown me a video. I don't know why.
It's got a video.
Not a video,
It's
sorry. He's got on his channel. It says his audience is 18% United Kingdom, 6% United States, and then 8% India. So.
And if you go back, there's almost only male on watching my videos.
70% males, but that's to be expected. Ender 3, version 3 SE. Filaments get clogged and destroyed, and yeah. Honestly, Harry, if you can afford it, get the E3. I think who's the other company that's sort of a bit of a copy of E3D but a Chinese one? What are they called? They've copied like the whole quick swap hot ends that E3D have done, but yeah, I'll find it and put it in the Discord later. But yeah, if you can afford the E3D Hemera, do that. And if you can't, there is a copy version. Well, it's not really a copy. Well, it is a copy in it. Let's be fair. There you go. Look, GMX has a Hemera Rock, super compact design and lightweight as well. There's new ones. Yeah, see, GMX, I'm running now, and I have been for about 18 months. The what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. Oh, the Bamboo Labs P1Ps, and it just makes life so much easier because yes, it's a closed ecosystem, and I don't like it. They're not the cheapest things in the world, but when you get them out of the box, you press a button, and you don't have to do anything. I think I've had about 3 or 4 clogs. I do have one X1 carbon that I just need to replace the tubing on because it keeps getting clogged. But these things got used 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for about 12 months, 12 years. And they paid for themselves very quickly. So they're not cheap, but for having that ease of use of taking it out of the box, pressing print and sitting back and not having to worry about, leveling your bed and making sure that your E-steps are set, it's a different world. It really is. Connor Clark says, how many drones do you have in total? So, Connor, 1, 2, I don't know, probably about 30.
Also,
probably about 30.
This was my most viewed short.
Oh, yeah.
Gained 9 subscribers
Well
from
done.
it. 4 shares, 8 comments, 71 likes.
Well done.
Loads of people. 6,000.
Yeah, Only Drones reckons 40 plus easy. DJI Drone Guy says, bro, there's only 2 people watching, which is weird because we're getting comments from 4 or 5 people. So I'm not quite sure how that works. GMX says, I'm currently building an upgrade using bamboos, hot ends, extruders, fans, mountains. Oh, and they sell all parts direct now. Oh, that's amazing.
That's weird.
Right, just 1 second, mate. No, you need to stop a second. This is amazing. I didn't know they did that. But yeah, Only Drones is probably right. Yeah, I don't know why that's saying that, DJI Drone Guy, because we're getting at least 4 or 5 different people commenting, so it's probably just YouTube being broken. But yeah, I'm probably going to say there must be about 40 in total. There must be about 40 drones, 3 helicopters, 2 built aeroplanes. I've got 3 unbuilt aeroplanes. I've got 4 or 5 drones shipped. Why? Says Connor Clark. So I like to test. It's my hobby, isn't it, at the end of the day? So I like to test the newer ones. I like to see which ones I like. If I hadn't have tested, like, for instance, Connor, this was, I took a punt on this in the summer and I thought, nah, that'd be a bit shit. And you know what? It's my favourite drone of all time. And if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have discovered that. And then I've got companies sending me drones as well. So, Sub 250 sent me the Oasis Fly 30. Sub 250 sent me the Hemera. Beta FPV have sent me some new drones. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show them yet, but they've sent me a few drones in the post. They sent me a Pavo 20, a Pavo 20 Pro, a Pavo 20 Pro Nightfire. So not all of them are purchased. Some of them are gifts from manufacturers in exchange for me doing a review. DJI Drone Guy's obsessed now with the view count, saying, why is it showing me that there's only 1 view, brah? It's showing me a lot more on my end, so I'm not quite sure why. But don't worry about it. It's fine. Just keep commenting, keep liking, keep sharing, and more people will join. So yeah, Connor, not all of them on my own. And then I've also got loads of parts as well. So, we've got parts from when I've had drones before, crashed them, wrecked them. I've taken the parts off. I've seen a frame online. I've bought it. I've built another drone from it. We've got a frame there. We've got a frame there. We've got frames there. Builds going on. It's innovation. It's finding out what's new, what's good, what I like, what I don't like. And with that knowledge and expertise that I build, I can then advise you guys. So when you guys come on and say, well, what's the best drone I can buy for this scenario? If I haven't tested them all, oh yeah, I've got a boat and an RC car as well, DJI Drone Guys. I've got a speedboat and I've got in fact, I've got 2 RC cars to review yet. A tank, yes, I need a tank. That's a good point. Harry M Photography says, what was your most spectacular crash? There was a couple. There was one in the summer where I tried to do a rewind at my tree and I just slammed straight into it with the brand new Mario build. Yep. where my tree is on the right hand side of it, there's a pub, and it was in the summer, and there was about 50 people in what's called a pub garden. Basically, they drink outdoors in a garden. They'd all was watching me. There was buzzing off like the moves I was doing, and then I slammed it into the tree, and all you can hear on the GoPro footage is them all cheering. Now there was no damage to that, but that was quite spectacular. And then I think the other one, there's probably another two really. There was one where I was a couple of 100 foot and I just completely lost all video signal. I hit return to home, but I'd hit the wrong switch. I was quite inexperienced at the time. The drone fell, so I was 200 foot high.
Disarm button instead?
No, I don't know what button I clicked.
Oh.
I was about 200 foot high, but I was on top of a hill. So the hill went down 200 foot, so it fell 400 foot. It went from one side of a footway to another side of a footway, through about 4 lots of trees, and it only broke an arm. And by the time I'd managed to find it, the beeper was going off. The GoPro was still there. We've got the footage of it, and that's quite spectacular. And then the other one was at a bando. So I was at a bando, and I don't know what happened. It was in the really early days, and I just lost signal, and it obliterated, and millions.
Did you click the auto lose connection button?
Millions, no, mate. Millions and millions of pieces. Connor Clark says, I need to start working to get into the hobby. I've been at it 10 years, Connor, so it might seem like a lot, but if you've got a hobby, be it fishing, be it drinking, be it whatever your hobby is, if you've done it for 10 years, you're going to pick up a lot of stuff in that time, aren't you? DJ Drone Guy says, boat and RC car left. So yeah, I've got those. We need to... I don't have a tank, says Only Drones. And Only Drones did witness one of them. Yeah, he did. Crawler. Yeah, I don't have a crawler. Not massively interested into crawlers because they're a bit slow. If a company wants to work with me, I'll review one. But yeah. Yep, the plane crash. Yeah. So again, relatively inexperienced. Only Drones was following me with his drone filming air to air. And I dropped the flaps over the tree, and I just didn't have enough airspeed, and I landed in the very top of a tree. We managed to wiggle it out a little bit, and I don't know how we got it back that day. I've got to be completely honest with you, but we somehow managed to. I am mentioning the plane. No. Which crash are we talking about, Only Drones? Oh, are we talking about? Oh, yes. No, you're right. You're right. The most spectacular crash was I was flying an old warbird, and it was about 7 o'clock at night in the summer, and Only Drones had popped round, and we'd gone to the field. Don't normally go out at that time of night, getting bit by loads of insects and stuff, and anyway, we'd done a few tricks, we'd done a bit of filming, we'd turned the cameras off, and I was just doing a couple of moves before we'd finished. We'd lost the light. It was over. Couple of moves, maximum, land, go home, everybody's happy. I decided to do a power loop, as you would call it with a drone, or a 360-degree loop. I'd only just started flying planes at this point, and what I didn't realise is you can't keep the power on at full power at the bottom of a loop with a plane, and I did. So I pulled a loop. It was spectacular. We wasn't recording it because we'd finished filming for the day. We'd lost the light. And as I get to the bottom of the loop and I pull up, I'm at absolute full tilt, full speed, full throttle. I pull up and the plane just disintegrates into 1,000 pieces in front of our eyes. And we just stand there and we just look at each other, and we are just absolutely flabbergasted at what had happened. It was amazing. The worst thing about that crash is I actually repaired that plane and put it all back together, and it flew again after that, if you remember Only Drones. Yeah, unreal that was. The fact that I put it back together and it flew again was even more unreal. And flew really well as well, if you remember, because we did a bit more filming afterwards, and it was amazing. But yeah, it was spectacular. It was just a shame that we didn't actually get it on film. That was what I was gutted about. DJ Drone Guy says it's like scary stories for people that like drones. Yeah, some of the crashes. I think the scariest one was where it lost signal. I thought I'd hit return to home. I hadn't. and then it was going to try and find it. It was quite a distance away, so it was going to try and find it. It was, has it been stolen? Has it hit anybody? You know, there was a real panic at that time about, one, am I going to find it? Two, has it hurt anybody? And you learn lessons from every crash you have. You always learn lessons. What about my 5-inch? So there was, yeah, Only Drones had a crash. I would be crying. Connor, it's a foam plane, so literally a bit of glue, put it back together. It must have been in a million pieces, but a bit of glue, put it back together, and it flew again, and it flew really well again, like nothing had ever happened. So me and Only Drones was flying in the summer. He was in the air, so I said, okay, I'm going to power on. Let me know if there's any problems. No problems. Powered on. And then as I armed, I went from low power to high power. There was a group of school kids walking through a different field that we was flying at. Right at that point, Only Drones completely lost video signal. And he crashed it about 10 foot in front of us, to be fair, or maybe about 10 meters in front of us. And it took so long to find it. I had to look at his goggles to find out where it had gone, and he'd not armed his beeper. Or did you even have a beeper at that point? I don't remember. But yeah, that could have been so dangerous. That really could have been dangerous. But I think the worst damage that I've done was the one at the Bando. Yeah, you did have a beeper. Yeah, you just didn't arm it, did you? Yeah, the worst one was the one at the Bando where it did actually wreck it. But I'm sure that was the Nazgul, actually. And I just took all the parts off it and built another one. That's what you do in this hobby. It is literally just the way this hobby goes. It is the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. But apart from that, the worst crash I've ever had, I've just broken an arm. Ordered a new one, replaced it, and away you went. That easy. And it's not that I don't look at some of the videos I've done today. It's not that I'm flying in a way that I'm trying not to crash. It's just, it doesn't happen. After you've been flying for a while, you sort of know. I mean, I slammed the Quadmula into the ground today, but I slammed it flat. You know, that was just a case of just not quite getting on the power early enough. It wasn't like a crash. You just get, it's like anything. If you do it enough and you repeat yourself enough, you get used to it. And you get better at it and you make less mistakes. But some of the mistakes I made in the early days were fucking horrific. In fact, there was one only a few weeks ago, and I was filming for the HD0 documentary, and I placed the drone towards the houses. And what I normally do is I do a very short takeoff, maybe 5 foot at absolute most, with the camera on it, and then land and pause the camera. And for whatever reason, I don't know how it had happened, I knocked the throttle. The drone went about 100 foot up in the air and careered towards the houses near the field where I am, and landed in the front yard of one of the houses about a foot away from the door and about 3 foot away from the car. Now, that was a 5-inch. If that had have...
hit the house,
if that had hit the house or the car, I probably wouldn't have flown ever again. Yeah. That was really scary. To be honest, every time I think about it, I get PTSD. That was probably the worst. The goalpost and no, that wasn't even a bad one, was it? Only Drone. So I had a GoPro on, and I just dinked, wasn't it? Because I don't think I crashed it out. Did I not just? I can't remember now. But I think I just dinked the top of the bottom of the goalpost with the top of the GoPro, and it killed the GoPro. They replaced it, but GoPros are shit, man. Don't use GoPros. Just not the post. That was it. Yeah, don't use GoPros, man. They're shit. Honestly, the amount that I've gone through, I've turned up at professional shoots with the GoPro, turned it on, and it's been like, nope. So I'm happy we've got the 04 now, because the 04 Pro is just as good as a GoPro. I've still got my naked ones, which are far more reliable than the ones built by GoPro themselves. Only Drone says, I think I have a short of the DJI Potato coming to the rescue. Yeah, that was mad, that was mad. Yeah, I'm finishing now, mate, don't worry. Yeah. Some of the stuff that we did in the summer only drones. I can't wait for this summer, to be fair, but definitely going to get to play no more. Next week, Only Drones and I are filming a feature-length film. We are going to take the large-scale helicopter. I'm going to put a shot up of the helicopter probably this weekend. Sorry, I have to go buy in advance. It's okay, DJI Drone guys, we're finishing now anyway. So I'm just letting you guys know that next week, Only Drones and I are taking a large-scale GPS helicopter to the middle of nowhere. We're taking FPV drones, we're taking Mavics, and we're basically going to shoot it like an actual feature film. And it's going to be the most incredible footage you've ever seen. That, or we're just going to crash it and destroy a very, very expensive helicopter and a very expensive Mavic that I don't have DJI Care Refresh for anymore. So I'm hoping not to crash it. But yeah, been a pleasure, DJI Drone guys. Thank you very much for your time. I am now finishing. If anybody has got any other questions or any other comments you want to make them now or forever hold your peace. I still stand by the fact the best 2.5-inch FPV drone to buy is the sub 250 Oasis Fly 25. And I will die on that hill. As much as the Quadmula F25 SP is amazing, is it winter? Yep, Connor Clark. You're in South Africa, so I'm guessing it's summer for you, but yeah, it's winter for us. If you look at my videos from like a week ago, there was snow everywhere. It's like 0 degrees today. It's just shit, mate. But we live in the UK, so it's always winter, even in the summer. But yeah, I'm going to die on the hill that the overall, the best 2.5-inch is a sub 250 Oasis Fly 25. For intermediate and advanced pilots, the best 2.5-inch drone is the Avion RC Icon Max 25 2.5, and the best built, but also not best built because the camera has no protection, is the Quadmula. Like, I just, it's like everything else about it is engineered to an amazing level, and then the camera sticks out by 7.5 foot. Like, what are you doing? I can forgive having to have less of a flight time, but that is just ludicrous. I just don't understand what they've done there at all. But yeah, Connor, it's even winter and the summer in the UK. Don't ever come to the UK if you want to fly drones, because the weather's just shit. It's just bollocks. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, so probably better not. But yeah, so if you're a newbie, I'd recommend this. Nah, you can't get it. No, if you look, mate, if you look, we've got the camera all the way back. The only thing you can do is you can flatten out that tilt. But if you flatten out that tilt, that camera is then going to stick further out. Hence why I've got it at the maximum tilt. That's the maximum protection. That's the maximum level of protection you're getting, which is just unbelievable. If you flatten it out, you basically, that's sticking out. Connor Clark says, when is the next live? Well, I've got football tomorrow, so it won't be tomorrow. What I'll try and do, no, because football doesn't finish till 9 p.m. What I'll try and do is I'll try and jump on live one night during the week, maybe Wednesday night for half an hour. See how you guys are. I want to try and keep up with you guys as much as possible. Hopefully I'll have time to build the studio properly by then. But obviously Only Drones and you're right, Only Drones, it's not good enough. When you've got a frame that's engineered with, I don't know if you can actually see, you probably can't, but 70-75 aluminum. You've got an extra carbon plate on top. You've got completely level there. You've got everything so well made and engineered. Yeah. Okay. Only for the camera to stick out on a frame that they claim is specifically designed for the 04. It's just not good enough. I can forgive the shorter flight times, but it's not a frame designed for the 04. Is it bollocks? What it is it's a cash grab. And I don't want to slag Quadmula off because I like it. I like it a lot. But look how much protection that's got. It's just night and day difference, isn't it? And I'll say it now because I don't think Sub 250 watch my live streams.
Yeah.
There is an 04 version of this coming out. So, and then it's not because I prefer Sub 250 as a brand because I work with them and blah, blah, blah. Because I've said the Avion RC is better for the intermediate pilot, but as a newbie, that's better. Overall, that's better. You know, this I think is engineered so much better in every single aspect apart from the bit that's going to cost you the most money. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And for that, I'm now going to get off my soapbox and I'm going to go. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I will post in the community.
Ready, but it's just deleted itself. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
have to retype it.
A simple redesign would fix that problem. I don't understand who let that pass. It's really bad, isn't it, GMX? I feel like I'm being overly critical of it, but I just don't get how they can turn around and say. The thing is, I suppose they could have put the camera a little bit further back on the TPU mounts. Ultimately, if they was going to redesign it, it would cost them money. Whereas I believe this frame is exactly the same frame as the 03 version, but just with a different TPU mount. It's not an 04 frame, and I think it's a bit indignant. I can't even say the word, but you know what I mean. To claim it's an 04. No, I think it's just a bit much to claim that it's an 04 frame because it's just not. I can't afford stuff and lost cameras, so hard pass on that frame at least for now. I agree completely. I will probably, what I'm going to probably do with this is I need to get some more flights in for the review. But I'm not going to fly it too much because it just sticks out far too much. And then what I'll probably do is I'll throw this 04 back in my ITZY Evo because I do have a shoot this week. Did you build it? Yeah, no, mate. I've spoken to Quadmula on Instagram. And initially I didn't, but yeah, shut your mouth or I'll batter you. So I'll ban you, mate. I'll ban you. Yeah, so I did. I spoke to Quadmula. This is how it should be. They've confirmed this is, yeah, they've confirmed that this is how it should be. It's fine. They've confirmed this is how it should be. This is it. So, I'll fly it a few more times for the review. I'll get the reviewer and then I'm going to take the 04 out until either they redesign. The thing is, now the problem is GMX, they can't redesign it, can they? Because there's no way of redesigning that now. They can't release a new... The only way they could do it now is release a whole new top and bottom plate. And they're not going to do that. So what they'll do is they'll just release another new frame, won't they? I think it's a bit of a joke, if I'm honest. And I don't, like I say, I'm like yourself, mate. I can't afford to be replacing cameras and 04s, hence why I've only got one. It's just too expensive. It's just far, far too expensive. So I'll keep it in there. I'll finish the review off, and then it's out of there for safety reasons, and I'll stick it back in the ITZY. I've got a shoot this week. Oh no, it might not be this week. I think we've rearranged it. Have we rearranged it? Only drones? I can't remember if we've rearranged it. But ultimately, we'll give it a few more flights. We'll do a few more things with it, and we'll just take it out for safety reasons until something happens. But I think what'll happen is they'll release a whole. I think what'll happen is they'll release a whole brand new actual 04 frame, because that's a joke. That's just not cool in the slightest. You've got 2/3 of the camera sticking out there. Look at that. And I don't, like I said, I don't want to slag Quadmula off because I do think the way that they've engineered some of the frames is really, really good. And I've got the split 5 here, and I'm going to build that, and I think it's brilliant, but it's just not good enough. Just not good enough. I'm just finishing off, mate. Just 1 second. So yeah, I will drop in the community feed, Connor, and in the Discord when I'm going to stream again next. But it's likely to be Wednesday now, 6 p.m. UK time. If you've got any questions, you need to know anything else, then drop me a comment in the Discord, and I'll reply there, or save it for Wednesday night. But I will confirm. But it should be Wednesday night. Should be fine. But it has been fun as always. Only drones. I can't wait until we. It is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is. I can't wait until we go and do that filming this week. It's going to be wild.
Enter the last comment.
Oh, is that what you're excited for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Only drone. Boy Wonder is desperate to leave the last comment, so I'm going to give him a bit of a heads up when we end. But yeah, listen, it's been amazing. Been so much fun as always, and I'll catch you all on the next one, guys. Okay, peace out, everybody. Until next time, goodbye.
Lots of love.